Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It is a great time, but this is a robot channel. Why are we talking about Valentine's Day on a robot and Android and tech channel? Well, we're talking about it because I got a movie for you. That's right. I got a movie just for you. I got a movie. Oh, I got a movie for you. I got a movie for you. I don't got nothing for you. Nah, I'm sorry. I got nothing for you. But you can join that one, and maybe maybe some Valentine's Day shenanigans will happen. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be lovely? Oh, here we go. The video, the movie for Valentine's Day, for this Valentine's Day, I have for you all is Cherry 2000. That's right. It's an old 80s movie. Let's take a look at the trailer. Here we go.
In the future, the world has survived. Romance has not.
Right, so we'll say a dinner, complete sexual encounter, optional episode in the morning, right?
I gotta run this past my own lawyer.
Pleasure is strictly business. But it will be possible to have the perfect mate. A Cherry 2000.
Looks great. Thanks.
Thoughtful. Desirable. She'll never run out on him. Just short out.
I'm sorry, kid. Total internal meltdown. Now you got her basic memory right here. Vocal patterns, verbal, whatever, basic voice. Don't look so glum. Your chassis out for the count, all right? You got the chip, you go in, you pick yourself out a new model, you slide it in the slot, you got yourself your girl back in a brand new frame.
Give me a call if you find a Cherry 2000.
Look, my friend, you're gonna be a very old man, round in the middle and bone dry before you find one of those in these parts.
That's a chance I'll just have to take.
Then the adventure begins.
Why don't you hire a tracker to go into Zone 7?
We got a policy against trackers in these parts.
Nobody goes into Zone 7.
You know, they got one of the original warehouses down there. Girls stacked on the shelves like pies.
I'm looking for someone to go into Zone 7.
I'm E. Johnson. You're not gonna find anybody better than me, mister. I'm not a machine.
So, first, you can go ahead and look at it. I got it written down here because I was going to remember all this. You can go ahead and rent it if you are a member, if you are a subscriber of Hoopla, you can see it there. Or you can rent it from Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, or Vudu. Out of all those, Amazon makes the most sense, or if you have Apple TV, that's what places that I would recommend, but any one of those others would be good as well. And also of those that I mentioned, Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, and Vudu, you can also buy it for $14.99. So you can rent it for $3.99, or you can buy it for $14.99 if you like it that much. Me, of course, I bought mine a long time ago on Amazon. But yeah, so that's the where you can get it aspect. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go see it, and then come on back and we'll talk about the review. All right. So what you're about to see is an old video that I did on a previous channel that I had about Cherry, which goes into all the reviews. And surprisingly enough, it actually does hit on the Valentine's Day aspect, as well as the robotics and engineering aspects. Okay, enjoy. So I chose Cherry 2000 because it's a fun flick. It's got the whole robots in it. It's kind of an old 80s version of Demolition Man, before Demolition Man came out. It was like, oh. But yeah, so Cherry 2000, it's a good movie. It's about a businessman who has gotten hot and heavy with his robot, and the robot overflowed the kitchen sink, which went on the floor, and when they're getting hot and heavy on the floor, she short-circuited in the back, and he has to go and replace her. So he goes through this huge journey, getting Manley Griffith's character, who's E. Johnson, and craziness ensues, and throughout all of that, he ends up not getting the cherry. He ends up leaving the cherry in the desert and going back for the girl who helped jump out of the plane because the plane was too heavy. So she jumped out to fend off against the raiders who were attacking them, and he ends up circling around and realizing that he actually is in love with a human female. Goes down, tells Cherry to go pick him up a soda, a Coke, correction, pick him up a Coke, and so she just starts walking. Anyway, picks up the human, and they fly off into the sunset. Yeah. Leave the human, cake the droid.
I'm not a machine.
So, this movie it's one of those where obviously the filmmakers wanted to show the human side of it, so that's why they picked the human up, and you know, all the stuff that he went through, all the stuff that she went through, all the people that died along the way. Basically were for nothing, because now he left the droid in the desert with the wives of the bandits. All the bandits that were men are dead, but their girlfriends and wives are alive, and Cherry just walks over and starts having a conversation with them.
Cherry, I want you to get me a Pepsi.
Sure. A Pepsi? Pretty.
We're going to talk a little bit about the tech that made it, that was in the film. The technology of the Cherry 2000, some of it's actually already out there. We can see, we have real dolls out there that are kind of doing the same thing. But with the Cherry, obviously it's more advanced because it's fiction. The technology of it, they didn't show too much. They just kind of showed a mess of goo and wires. It reminded me of the game Detroit. If you haven't had a chance to play that and you love robotics and mystery and kind of a detective story, definitely worth it. It's fun. You have it's kind of like choose your own adventure in a way. You have different decisions to make, and each time you play it and beat it, you can make different decisions to go on. But the goo is like the blood of the robots and the androids in Detroit. And that very much reminded me of just that kind of liquid circuitry, which we are definitely heading to in reality. It just makes doing this much easier for a android or robot. There's no servos, you don't hear, you know, it's just a nice motion, nice and silent. But yeah, so very cool in that aspect, so very futuristic there. But the main part of it, the main data of where all the centralization of the processor and everything is actually on a little disc. And the disc goes in the back of the ear, and it's like a compact disc the size of maybe a little bit larger than a silver dollar. And that goes into the back of the ear, and all the information is there. And then you want to get to a new chassis, a new bot, then you just take that out and you pop it in a new bot. So speaking of the disc could have been rather another MacGuffin, because he takes this disc out, puts it in a player, and he plays it they're in the desert. It's like I said, it's like a compact disc. In other words, dust on it can, start scratching the surface. And I'm like, don't take that out. What do you keep on taking it out for? Keep it in like a very special area that won't break the disc and. But no, he just takes it out. He puts it in the recorder. He leaves the recorder on top of this crummy car, and the Melody Griffith's character hears it, and she's like, oh, that's disgusting, because it's playing basically all the time that the droid and this businessman had shared. And there's times where she, it's very intimate, and I'm just like, this is what you want to remember? This is your hot times? And you're like, oh, I have all this. You're remembering this because of a disc? Then guess what? There's a chassis back where your house is, and you can use that. But no, it's really... Anyway, the disc could have, like I said, the disc could have been another MacGuffin. It could have been part 2 of a movie. They could have gone, they got Cherry, and their weight of the plane was an issue. They were able to take off, and they're good to go. But they couldn't get, get the disc, or they had dropped the disc along the way, so maybe during the battle, and he never got a chance to put it in or something. And then finally they get home, and he's like, oh, where's the disc? And oh no, I must have dropped the disc. And then there's a part 2, the journey for the disc, and that would have been so much better. It would have kept both of them there. Then he would have really had a conflict where they can set up a scene, like more of a connection between the two human characters, of they're forming this bond because they're trying to get his Cherry, and he's starting to have real feelings for her, but he has to get this droid, and there had been this conflict. That would have made for a great part 2. I mean, they could technically still do it if I guess it would be Cherry 3000 now. Where his son is going after this Cherry model. But anyway, it would have been so much better to have the disc as another MacGuffin. But anyway, so it's a great movie. Well, not a great movie. It's a fun movie. Remember, it's an 80s movie, so take it like that. And just have fun with it. If you like cyborgs, and you like robots, and you like the crazy idea of this society, like this Demolition Man type society, then yeah, it's definitely got that aspect in it. So add it to your DVD collection, Blu-ray collection, 4K. I don't think it's in 4K, but definitely like your digital collection. I saw mine on Amazon, and it's a fun one. It's definitely a fun one. Happy Valentine's Day, groovy kids and cats. Have a good one, and enjoy. Feel free to like and subscribe. You know where to find me on Instagram at MechanoidStorm. Until next time, I got another video for Valentine's Day coming up. Got another video. Oh, it's gonna be a fun one. Bye now. We got hoo-wee. That's right, we got hoo-wee. Alright, let's go back a little bit.